Spare parts cruising the coast. It is June. In fact, one might even say it is late June. Say hello, big brother.
Hello, big brother.
We are working on the Dark Knight. Actually had it to the tuner. Had it down to Corey at Henderson Performance down in New Brunswick. And he did some tuning on it, and it idles. It goes into gear without sputtering and dying, and he did a lot of good. He was not able to do much in the way of wide open, unfortunately, because we ran out of injector. We still just have the stock injectors in this thing. So what we are going to do is rob the injectors from the Dark Knight and decap them. We're going to do that this weekend, and we're going to send them up to Eric Durr. I believe he's out of Pennsylvania. He said he can turn them around in about a week, and we'll have all the flow information. And then Corey said that we could come back to his shop and put it back on the dyno and go ahead and tune for wide open throttle. So then we will be in business. But I drove it to New Braunfels and back. It took me about 2 hours. I took back roads because it wasn't running that great on the way down there, and an hour and a half on the way back. It never got above 190 degrees and seems to be running much, much better now. So we are pleased.
It's like a real car.
Yep. So we are working on gauges this weekend. So Mike will know how fast he's going, those kinds of things.
It's a good thing.
He seems to think so.
Also a fuel gauge. We're going to install a fuel gauge.
And we need to work on the AC system and figure out where the leak is there. So we have several things to do. As always, much to do, so we will get started. We've got several projects going on at once. We are going to do some sealing on that cold air box that we made out of an old battery box. Not an old one, it was a new one, but still, we cut it up, and we're going to use that gasket and glue it around so it will seal better around that pipe, so that we know we are drawing fresh air out the bottom and out the front there. So we are playing with that. Mike is working on gauges.
We have to make this plate attached to this bezel and fit in here.
And we're going to mount his gauges into that plate, cut out the holes and mount the gauges.
Hell yeah, brother.
Because we've got plenty of room behind that plate for the gauges to stick back there. There's a lot of room in here. And again, all the power accessories, I mean, this is what used to run the old gauges that no longer work. So we're going to hook into power and ground right there. So it should be easy enough. But the Dark Knight is coming along. We are in the middle of several projects. We need to go to the getting place for some transmission fluid. We need some glue. We have a list of odds and ends that we need for this, all of these little projects, but we are going to go and measure and cut the holes for his new gauges into that plastic piece and get those fitting in. I can work on a wiring harness for those, and we're going to try and get all those things wrapped up. We had to make a trip to the neighbor's garage, had great success there. Cut holes in the panel for his gauges, and that is going to fit into that bezel and then clip into the car like this, and switch.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Better than that.
So that is coming along nicely. While we were over there, Jeff has my grinder. So I went over there and decapped all the injectors. I'll show you a decapped injector. There is a decapped injector. We are going to send that in, have it cleaned and flowed, and then those are going into the Black Knight. So we're making progress on odds and ends. Once we get those back, we can go back to the tuner and tune for wide open throttle, so this thing is a demon on the road like it should be.
As originally designed. So, almost there. It's getting closer. Everything that we do is a little bit closer than we were before.
Yep. It's going to be cool. Getting a little rain at the ranch, which is okay. And look at the progress that Mike has made.
Wow, I think it's going to work exactly the way I envisioned it. Once we were able to cut the hole, it was real easy. We just drilled some mounting holes for these little socket head cap screws. They're nice and black. They match the existing bezel, and the other ones just fit them right in there. Actually, this one, the speedometer, is the outside of this chrome bezel is about the same size as the inside of this rectangle. So I just pushed it through, flush to this plate. Everything sits in there fine. It looks great.
Does look good. So look at it through your wheel and whatever with you sitting there like you're driving. You're going to be able to see it.
Probably not. I can see my my tank and my fuel. The original wheel in this car was a larger diameter, so now I can see why. So you can see through the wheel, through the gauges, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I know where 65 miles an hour is, and I know where empty is now. So that's progress, my friends. Yeah.
Now we just have to wire it up and make it all work.
I know, it looks good for right now, though.
It does look good for right now. That's a win.
Yep.
It's definitely a win.
Built, not bought. See a little raised area where we cut it. I could probably take this cover off, this carbon black contact paper, redo it on the edge because it kind of raised that, you can see just a little bit around the diameter there. But I'm not going to worry about it.
I don't think it's anything anyone is ever going to see or notice.
Now everyone that watches this video will. But I'm okay with it. It looks the way I want it to look. And I know that may even be just part of that is reflection of the bezel. So it's cool.
It's good.
Yay.
Good job. Mary Beth's rolling the pasta. Got bolognese simmering. And poach some eggs to go on top. We're celebrating Linda's birthday. She's celebrating by fussing at her dogs. We're gonna eat well tonight. Mike's fabricating.
You've heard of Build-A-Bear? Well, this is Form Seal. So what we have done here is we've taken our reworked intake box, and we're taking this flexible seal material, and we're just going to kind of put it around this circumference, around this parabola that we've got on both sides.
What was that? Parabola?
Parabola, boys and girls. Remember 10th grade geometry? Okay, go back and study on that. So we got this this flexible seal material. This is actually, I got this for about $1 at Home Depot. It was in the discard bin because somebody had already opened it and found it would not work for the garage door, but it will work perfect for this. But what we have to do is kind of form it, since it's under tension here around this circumference. We just have to form it a little bit at a time. So we're using this JB weld material, plastic weld, and it works really good, but it takes about 5 minutes to set up. So what I have to do is just kind of squeeze for 5 minutes. That's right, squeeze. And then you can get it to fit on there where you want. So just have to kind of hold it there and let it set up, get hard, and we have a seal.
Excellent. And in true P-Lamb fashion, I messed up this morning. We went last night after dinner to buy transmission fluid and some other things so that we didn't have to go to the store this morning. We can get an early start and just get a lot done. Well, I bought the wrong transmission fluid. So without looking this morning, I opened one up and poured it in. And I was like, that doesn't even smell right. And I looked at that and I was like, that's not Dextron. And then looked it up on the internet. That's not compatible with anything. So
It don't smell like a duck. It's not a duck at all. Okay.
So I had to go to the parts store this morning and get enough to change the whole thing out. Now the nice thing is this does have a drain plug in it. So I did not have to remove the pan. So I've got a
well-worn drain plug, I might add.
And of course we didn't crank it up, so we didn't cycle that fluid throughout the transmission, so we should be good. We're just draining the old stuff out right now, and then we will put the plug back in, put the new stuff in, and then we're good to go. So I only wasted an hour and a half this morning going to a drunk parts store. Anyway, spare parts cruising the coast. One step back, 2 steps forward. That's pretty much how this project has gone from the beginning. And we will continue in like fashion.